Really bad goal to concede from our perspective. That's two absolute shockers, really. You can't let them just walk through you. You can't bottle tackles. You can't take out your own men.
Ladies and gentlemen, wow. Been a while, hasn't it? Been a long while since that magnificent 1-0 win away at Craven Cottage last year. Wow, it has been that long. 15th of January, we finally get under the way in the league for 2022. Paul Heckingbottom sadly missing with COVID, a little bit of irony there. But it was Jack Lester and Stuart McCall who took their blades to Pride Park. Team selection, I'll just run through it because it's that long since the game I can't remember the changes. But Wes in goal, fresh from his birthday yesterday, hopefully no hangover for him. Jayden Bogle at right wing back, left wing back, Rhys Norrington-Davies, and then your central three, Jackie Longthrow back in the side, John Egan and Mr Sheffield United himself, Chris Basham. In the midfield, we have got Sander Berge and Oliver Norwood, and they are sort of sat behind a front three, maybe 𝐍𝐸 just behind, Ndai and Sir William Sharp. The game started with a real chance for the Blades early on. Goalkeeper Dylan dallied with it. It was pressed down but didn't ricochet right and went out towards the touchline. As the game progressed, Derby grew into it a lot more. There were limited chances but a lot of possession. Both sides having an equal share of it, I'd say. But Martin Atkinson infuriating Derby County when they were on the attack and did the ball hit him under the rules. Probably should have been a drop ball, but nothing was given. It got worse moments later for Derby fans from their perspective as Wes raced towards the edge of his area, the side of his area, and was adjudged to have got a nudge in the back. If been the other way around, I'd have been a little bit worried about that. But hey, you win some, you lose some. Big chance though came when a long throw from Jack Robinson. It had been causing problems, Jackie Longthrow, flicked on by John Egan. Billy Sharp from 6 yards head straight at the goalkeeper. A yard either side, Billy. That's 1-0 Sheffield United. The Blades look promising going forward, and Ndai looking to break from deep. But overall, 0-0 at the break, probably a fair reflection. Let's hope for better in the second half. Half-time at Pride Park, Derby County 0, Blades 0.
Hiya Blades, so I'm here to cover the second half of our game with Derby. So after the first half, I thought we'd handled quite well. You thought, we might be on top. Hopefully we'll see more of the same in the second half. No. Well, I say no. We were on top for the most of it with absolutely no creativity. And they've scored two, from their perspective, really good goals. The first one, Tom Lawrence gets the ball, dribbles past 3-4 players, not having to do very much at all, and then slides one in at the front post. We've got to do better. Someone's got to tackle him. You've got to just go through him, take him down. We were noticing before a little bit that maybe Bash had pulled his hamstring. Maybe that affects his ability to make a tackle. Don't know. He did look to be hobbling just before that. But either way, you can't just let one player walk through 3-4 players. But 20 minutes left and you think, right, we have been on top. We've not created anything, but maybe we can throw things at them now, really get forward. And it don't really come. We're still struggling to create. Houlihan bottles a tackle on edge of their box. Jack Robinson decides to do an absolutely horrific foul on Norrington-Davies. And then they're in 3-on-2. You think that the chance is gone. They've made a mess of it, played a bad pass. And then Lawrence has found top corner. And it's a fantastic finish, to be fair to the lad. But yeah, really bad goal to concede from our perspective. That's two absolute shockers, really. You can't let them just walk through you. You can't bottle tackles. You can't take out your own men. This really felt like a few steps backwards, I think. Felt a lot more like an early season performance. We were lacking in energy, lacking fight. Maybe it's to do with the gap. We've not played for a few weeks, barring the game at Wolves. But it's just not good enough. We need to be better than that. How much we miss 𝐍𝐸𝐶𝐸 is insane. And hopefully he can be back sooner than later, because we've just got no creativity and really never looked like putting a dent in that Derby team today. Got to be better midweek. Up the Blades.
Player ratings for a quite poor performance today at Pride Park. First up, Wes, I give a 7. Solid with some good distribution, not at fault for the goals. Needs to be careful running out of his area. Bogle, I give a 6. Got in some good shooting positions, made a couple of good through balls, but he can't cross a ball. Bash, I give a 7. Mr. Snake Hips, the only one who looked interested today in really making something happen. Egan, I give a 7. Had a header on target in the first half, but one of a few who were quite guilty in conceding the first goal, but otherwise generally quite solid in defence. Robinson, I give a 5. His long throws seemed to do well in the first half, with good chances for Sharp and Egan, but also then took out RND for their second goal. RND, I give him a 6. I think he'll struggle against better wingers, and really should be claiming his shirt in Ender's absence. I don't feel he did that today. Norwood, I'll give a 5. Probably his worst game today in quite a while. A lot of sideways and backwards passing and didn't make any tackles really. Berger, I'll give a 4. So slow. Wants far more time on the ball than he can have in this division and didn't really offer anything today. 𝐍𝐸, also a 4. Woeful in shooting and woeful off the ball today. 𝐍𝐸, I give a 6. Looked to take players on and make something happen, but really missing that player at the side of him, a class player of the likes of Morgan Gibbs-White. Sharp, I'll give a 6. Should have scored with that header. Starved the service in the second half and lost his temper. As for the subs, Brewster, I'll give a 6. Looks a bit rusty. No real service, but didn't really go looking for it either. Hourahan, give a 5. Not really sure what he did today, whether good or bad. Osborne, I'll give a 6. Loads of energy, but not the game changer we need to come off the bench. And as for McCall and Leicester, in the absence of Hecky, give them a 6. They made the right subs at the right time, but where was this intensity that we've been hearing about? Really slow today. Gone up a gear, I think we could have got something.
Yeah, thanks very much, James. Positives and negatives. Goodness me, it's difficult to identify any positives from a game like that when we just gave it up so easily. Derby County weren't particularly a good side, were they? Let's face it. And yet they knew that as long as they strung things out, as many teams have done this season, they were just going to eke their way into a win where we just give it up with 1, maybe 2 goals. It was on the cards all game, wasn't it? As much as we huffed and puffed, we tried to create stuff. You know, there are small flashes of positivity with Bogle and Norrington Davis out wide. They tended to take things wide, but we forgot how to overlap, didn't we? I forgot exactly what our game was all about, and their crossing was shockingly poor. You know, trying to find overhit or hitting the near post. It wasn't particularly good. Small other flashes of brilliance from good old Chris Basham, who tends to be man of the match every single time. Although let's face it, you know, he's a tall poppy in a field of small poppies, isn't he? Really, and we're stuck with this side which is stuffed full of supposed brilliance, such as Berger. Absolutely woeful today. Really lethargic, not really in the game, easily beaten, easily challenged to the ball, easily the ball taken off him so easily. Other areas of the midfield were poor. Norwood again, just wasting passes across the pitch. Then we bring Hourahan on. For what particular effect? Those substitutions were just baffling, weren't they? That was a real negative. You know, we tended to control the game in small areas, and then suddenly we lost control of the game once the subs happened. And you know what was going on. It's disappointing for Stuart McCall and for Jack Lester really today, because I thought that, you know, on the touchline they may have some kind of effect on the team. You know, there may be a little bit more control. Seemingly not. We lost our way today. We reset everything to before, probably around about the Slav area where we seem to be just rudderless. Today was an indication of that. We've kind of gone back to that. We reverted to first principles of poor football. And it also spells out to me that if anybody thinks that we're going to go up to the Premiership this season or even get into the playoffs and get anything out, they need to have a word with themselves. It's also a little bit into the January transfer window, and it doesn't look like anybody's coming in. Plus that challenge, yeah, you know. Anyway, onwards and upwards to the next game midweek and see what we can get out of that. Probably nothing. Up the Blades at Pommpey. See you later. Bye-bye.